To the United stand, Manchester United 1, Everton 1. Ollie scored by a BTEC Braveheart. That's basically the headline. Thanks, Zane Massey, for I nicked it off you, I know. But a BTEC Braveheart has just come and scored Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. And I tell you what, I'm really not disappointed. I'm fed up and tired of this because there is no excuse. Again, there is no excuse for this. Like, we beat Manchester City. Comfortably beat Manchester City. We comfortably beat Spurs. And then we come into a game like this today where every United fan is talking about the warning sign being that with these are the games that we really struggle in. We struggle in these games. We've got to be up for it. We've got a point to prove that we're not going to lose in these types of games again, and we're gonna hit it hard. We're not going to be complacent. And then what do we get? We get another 90 minutes of complacency from Manchester United that just defies belief. It defies belief. And let's be absolutely honest here. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks pretty happy with that. Mason Greenwood, man of the match. Smash a like on the video for Mason Greenwood being man of the match because it's easy. And he only played half an hour. He saved us from losing. It's as simple as that. Mason Greenwood, not in that game. Manchester United lose it. Greenwood scored with 10 minutes to go. We're attacking the Stretford end. You think, there's going to be a golden chance. We've just got to take it. There'll be a chance. Last 10 minutes, 1-1. Momentum's with us. We'll get that chance. We've just got to take it. We take the 3 points and we get away and we look at the problems. No chance came. Do you know why no chance came? Because even when it's 1-1 and we've got momentum, we can't beat a low block. We've got one plan, and that is, if you attack us and leave the door open, we're quick and we'll hit you on the break. If you defend, we're screwed. We could not create anything. And Mason Greenwood's goal was out of nothing. He's got 3 players around him. He shoots it between the legs of one of them and it goes in the bottom corner. Unstoppable for Pickford. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I think the thing that the big issue here is that we've jumped straight back into where we were before Spurs and Everton. Before Spurs and Manchester City. We're straight back to Aston Villa 2 weeks ago, where everyone was like, this is just not good enough. But you know what's going to happen? What happens with Ollie, what happens with United is you beat Spurs, you beat Man City, that keeps you in a job for 6 months. You go back to being crap again, everyone gets frustrated again, but nothing's going to change. And nothing is, and that's it. That's the headline, isn't it? Nothing's going to change. The manager's not changing, the coaching's not changing, the players aren't changing. Nothing's going to change. When we play Arsenal on New Year's Day, we'll probably win. When we play Liverpool at Anfield, we'll probably get a courageous point again. We'll probably beat Man City when we play them next year at Old Trafford. But in between, we'll be ridiculously crap and inconsistent because we can't beat a low block. And if you don't know what a low block is, it's basically two banks of 4 sat on the edge of their box saying, what you going to do? What can you do? Balls are red and bollocks are blue. And you know what? I thought Everton were not that good today. I didn't think that they were. They didn't really play that well, Everton, but they didn't really have to because we can't break teams down. And Mason Greenwood was head and shoulders the man of the match because he's the only player that creates something. He's the only player that does something. And United, I would be appalled. I don't know what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing in the dressing room. I don't know. And George Cronin says he's got no plan B. I don't know what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing in the dressing room right now, but I bet they're all just giving high fives and saying, you got your Christmas cards. You know, there doesn't seem... Well, it's not that there doesn't seem to be. There is no urgency from Manchester United Football Club. And until we have that urgency, what's going to happen? Where are we going to be? I cannot overemphasise the fact that Chelsea lost 3 games in a row. We've got no right. We don't even deserve to be in the top 4. I think we all know that. We don't deserve to be in the top 4. We're awful. But the door was wide open. You know, Frank Lampard basically emptied his Christmas sack all over Ollie and said, there you go, there's your presents. You can have top 4 for Christmas. And Ollie's gone, nah. You know, it was there. That's the big frustration. It was there. All you've got to do is beat Everton at home. And we can't do it. We can't do it. We didn't even deserve to do it. It's not even like we were unlucky. We didn't deserve to win. And to me, a draw is right up there with a loss because... And people will come out and, you know, it's all about opinion, of course. And people will come out and say, oh, look at you. First opportunity, you're going in on Ollie again. I'm not saying the words Ollie out. I haven't said that. And a lot of people are, to be fair. But what I am saying is this. How can you as a Manchester United fan who supports this board and supports these players and supports this management, how can you be happy tonight when we've had an amazing week where we beat Man City and Spurs? And today is the key. Everybody said it. Today is bigger than Man City because these are the games that we can't win. These are the games that when we've beaten Man City at the Etihad, we'll blow it up the wall because we won't be able to beat Everton at Old Trafford. That's why today was important. Top four's there up for grabs, but it's so important to show that we're not just a bunch of spoilt big time Charlies who can turn up in the big games but can't be arsed in these sort of games. And yet again, they've shown that against teams that want to fight them, that aren't as good as Man City, we bottle it every bloody time. They've destroyed it. They've destroyed the hope. They've destroyed the hope today. And I'm so I am disappointed actually. I'm so disappointed because as a fan base, all we want is to cling on to something, to see something that we can build upon. And when you beat Spurs and Man City, it's great. Mourinho, our ex-manager, sit down. Pep and all his oil money, sit down. Now, let's not embarrass ourselves like we normally do and not win our next game at home. And we haven't. We've gone and embarrassed ourselves. Today was about hope. Today was about building for the future. And they've thrown it up the wall again. They've absolutely destroyed it because they've bottled it. They've blown it. And look, I believe De Gea was fouled on the first goal. But can anybody honestly argue that we deserve to win that game? We did not do enough to win that game of football. A draw is a fair result because Mason Greenwood's bit of brilliance deserved to get a point. But the rest of them and that team, I don't even want to rant and start, tearing into players. It's a collective problem. And what is the solution? We can't trust this team. We said it against Cardiff when we've said it so many times, and we cannot trust this team. They are not to be trusted with that shirt because they can beat anybody. They can lose and draw to anybody. And it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that United are in this situation whereby they can't do anything about it. They seem lost. They seem unable to do anything about it. And I'm so fed up with it. I'm so fed up with it. And all I want is a bit of hope. And I think all we want is a bit of hope. All we want is, something to cling on to. And we can't trust these players. And you know what? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of his depth because that is Duncan Ferguson in his second game. But he beat Lampard. So I'm not saying, Ole's useless. But he's come and done Ole. He's basically said, I know how to stop him. And all Ole's got is Greenwood. And that's not tactics. Mason Greenwood's not tactics. Mason Greenwood is an amazing talent who's got you out of jail. That's not tactical. There's nothing tactical about chucking a star player on and then scoring you a goal out of nothing. Because I wouldn't even call that an assist from Dan James. It's a pass to somebody on the edge of the box who creates something out of nothing. So creativity lost and all over the shop, really. I'm going to do player ratings anyway, and we'll take some of your comments. But we're so bad in possession. We can't beat the low block. We're clueless. United will be good. I can predict games United are going to be good this season. Any game where a team attacks us and leaves a high line for us to exploit. If they sit back with two banks of four, we're going to struggle. And, Watford next week, we should win it. But I tell you what, I'm not going to say it. You can't trust this team. You can't trust it. And what will Ollie's excuses be after the game? That's the best thing. What's Ollie's excuse going to be after this game? Fatigue? Well, no, you rested a lot of players in the week. Unlucky? No, you weren't. Just not hard. I don't know what the thing is. There are no excuses anymore. There's a combinational problem at United. The players aren't good enough, and the coaching's not good enough. That's the bottom line, isn't it? And how is that? The hardest thing is how is that going to change? I know United can beat Man City and I know they can beat Spurs, but I don't have any confidence that they can beat Everton, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle, West Ham, Southampton. We're just not able to do it. When we're the underdog against a better team who wants to attack us, we're a threat. When we're the favourites, we're no threat. We're no threat at all. And it's a sad result. It's a sad result, isn't it? That's the bottom line. It's a sad result. It's not even a rant result. It's a sad result that we've learned nothing as a football club. We've learnt nothing. We're exactly where we were last year when we lost to Cardiff, at the start of the season when we lost to Palace, 2 weeks ago when we drew with Villa. We're the same inconsistent side that's lazy in possession, with no creativity and absolutely no idea or inspiration from the coach or the bench. It's poor. And you know what? It would be very easy today, and actually, let's do the player ratings. It's going to be very easy to talk about a particular player and give them a certain mark. And Anjmal says, what's the solution? I'm fed up with this team. The solution is what the solution's always been. It's huge. It's 600 million on a new playing squad. It's experience in the coaching staff. It's removal of the owners and Ed Woodward. It's too big. We are stuck in a rut, and it's a cycle of rut. We've basically become Phil Jones FC. A good game, a big mistake, and then injured for ages. And that's United. We have a big result, a crap result, and then a consistent bleh. And that's what we've become. That's what we are. We are what we are. I can't believe top four presented itself and we've ignored it. I can't believe it. Player ratings. I think today you've got to give De Gea a 5, haven't you? I mean, I love De Gea. He's one of my favourite players, but you've got to give him a 5. I think he's fouled. I think it is a foul, but I think he's got to go more forcefully than that. He's a goalkeeper. He can use his hands. Maybe he's got to go with 2 fists, but he was fouled. But you know, you leave yourself in the incompetence of officials. If you know, I thought it was a foul, but you know, what can I say? Wan-Bissaka, I'd give him a 6. I thought he made a couple of fantastic tackles. In the first half, he didn't even cross the halfway line. In the second half, he did. There's that chance to cross the ball in. It's one of the worst crosses I've ever bloody seen. Fantastic defender. The best defensive right back in Europe for me. He made some amazing tackles today. Very poor going forward. Lindelof, 6. He'll get a blame for the own goal. There's nothing he could have done. I think Lindelof's been one of our best players over the last few weeks. He has got his limitations, but I think he's been one of our form players. So I'll give him a 6. Maguire, 6. I mean, did he do anything wrong? No, but I think our corners have got to a point now where we may as well just give them the goal kick because we are redundant at corners. And I don't think it's always about delivery. I mean, some of Fred's deliveries were bad today, but some of them were half decent. And I think Maguire's got to be getting on the end of them. I don't know. To me, that feels like Harry Maguire's just lost confidence. He just doesn't look at the races. And he wasn't bad today, and he's not been bad for the last month. But he just doesn't look at the races. There's something not right about Harry Maguire. Not wrong enough for bad performances, but he's certainly not putting in 7, 8, 9 out of 10 performances. He's just average at the moment. Luke Shaw, I'd give him a 6. I know people want to hate on Luke Shaw, but he made a tackle in the second half that stopped us losing that game. Basically, it's a 2v1, a crossfield pass, and it's a 1-on-1, and he made the tackle. He got forward a lot. He had a decent shot that James should have scored the rebound, but smashed it into Lingard's face. I thought Shaw and Wan-Bissaka in the second half got forward. I'd give him an average 6. Fred... I'm going to give Fred a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 because Fred never stopped. And creativity from him and McTominay wasn't great today, but Fred never stopped going. And, you know, he kept taking those corners. He kept looking for those passes. He was good defensively. I thought Fred actually, you know, because we didn't play well, but I don't think he played badly. McTominay, I'd give him a 6, not quite a 7, probably a 6.5. Didn't really grab hold of the game like he has done. He looked like an Everton midfielder today, and that's not a bad thing, but him and Davies had a very similar game. So, yeah, I thought average McTominay, much like Wan-Bissaka and everybody else, to be honest with you. Dan James, I'm going to give Dan James a 5 today. I don't count that as an assist for Mason Greenwood. It was just a pass. His shooting was a bit off. The one where it dropped from Luke Shaw's shot should have been a goal. He should be finishing that, and he hits Lingard in the face. Just a bit of an off day for Dan James, nothing more, nothing less. Rashford 6. Always looks dangerous, Rashford, but just didn't. Not a lot going for Rashford today. And I'd also say the same with Martial. I mean, some people will say Martial was awful. I think that Martial and Rashford weren't awful. They were just starved of the right sort of ball again, and it makes it very, very difficult for them. So I thought they had average performances, much like most of the team. And Lingard for me was the lowest of the lot. And I'm not going to go in on him. It's his birthday. I'm not going to go in on him because, he's come out with these issues that are obviously causing him a problem. But I think in all seriousness, this is competitive football. This is Manchester United Football Club. We can't carry players. We can't carry players just because they've got genuine issues at home. He needs to be given a month off. He needs to be dropped. He's not good enough. And that's very sad because of what's going on with him. But, none of us knew that. And a lot of us gave him a lot of, abuse because of his performance. I'm not going to do that. I thought he was dreadful today. The miss in the first minute was just unexplainable. It was like playing with 10 men at times. So much so that Ollie took him off and didn't even bring a number 10 on. He put Greenwood up on the right and we went 4-2-4. But if Lingard's performances are down to what's going on in his home life, then he needs to be given a month off football so he can go and sort that out, because it's not helping him playing in a game like that. Today's his birthday. A lot of us were hoping we're going to see a better Lingard, and we didn't. He was very poor today. I don't want to give him that score, but I'm not going to not give it him because of what's gone on in the media. He just wasn't good today, and he hasn't been good for a long time. He's good against teams where he can spin and run into space like Man City last week, but Everton were never going to be that team. He had people close by him, and that doesn't help Lingard. But it could have been Pereira today, and it could have been Mata. Mata came on. He gets a ball from Rashford. Mason Greenwood's on the far right-hand side. He doesn't even look at him. He tries to give it an impossible pass to Rashford, and it's gone. So, Mata doesn't do any better than Lingard. Pereira doesn't do any better than Lingard. We need a centre attacking midfielder. That is what United need, and we haven't got one. And we're struggling because of that. So he has got to spend money in January. He's not going to get the sack. We know that. But, let's mark Ollie out of 10. We gave him, 8 or 9 out of 10 for the game against Manchester City. I'm going to give him 5 today. I don't think it's even an average. That's got a forehead like DT, that 5. It looks like him, doesn't it? It's poor from Ollie today. You can't. We need to see your plan B. We need to see it. Otherwise, we can't beat these teams. It's not about, as I said before the game, it's not about when we see a plan B from Ollie. It's about what your plan B is. He hasn't got one. And until he gives us one, then we're going to keep having these sorts of results. And, maybe somebody like Haaland gives us that plan B where we can mix it up a bit. People were saying, where's Fellaini? And look, I'm glad we sold Fellaini, but today we would have been better off going long ball with Fellaini, as much as I hate it, because it might have caused some problems. We're just so easy to play against because we've only got one way of playing. And that makes you, we're so tactically naive. Whether you want Ollie in or not, he's tactically naive. And so is Carrick, and so is Phelan, and so is McKenna. They are tactically easy to play against. Look at the points we've dropped this season. Southampton away, they're dreadful. Crystal Palace at home. I won't even remember all of them. West Ham, Newcastle, Sheffield United, Villa, Everton. They're teams that are finding it so easy to play against us because we're so one-way traffic in the relation to how we play. We get to the edge of the box and we haven't got a bloody clue what to do when there's 2 banks of 4 against us, and it hurts. It hurts the eyes. It's tiring, and I'm very disappointed. Ollie looked happy after this game. What was that about? Exactly. I don't understand that, Red Baron. He's happy with a point. You know why he's happy though? Draughty messaged me at half time and he's got it absolutely spot on. Ollie is happy. The players are comfortable. They're complacent because Woodward's told Ollie he's got 2 years. The players know this. There's no immediate pressure. They're all comfortable. They're all sat there in their slippers and hobnobs, dunking their tea, watching Countdown. Absolutely comfortable. There is no pressure or urgency on that team, and this is why we're so complacent. And that goes back to the top. That's Woodward and co. They are not putting pressure on these players, and they are not demanding more from the manager. So they're all sat there going, give it time, give it time. We're back in 1989. Can I just tell you something now? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has played 17 games. He has got less points than Jose Mourinho had after 17 games, and Mourinho was sacked. Stick that. That is the truth. 17 Premier League games. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got less points than Mourinho had, and he was sacked. Fact. Stop being so negative. Ollie gets a 7, says Yassar said. Well, that's your opinion. James gets a 10 for taking Lingard out of the game, says Jesus Escobar. I think Ollie should sit down with Lingard, give him some time off. Exactly, I agree, Kieran Burke. Lip sparring champ, Mark Ollie can't be blamed. Without creativity, we will not be able to carve up teams who sit back. Pogba's return will help us going forward. I hope so. Jordan Such, Spurs get a late winner away to Wolves. That's impressive. Whilst United, unfortunately, same old, can't beat a defensive team. John Perlson says, what's the manager supposed to do? Get on the pitch and score. Neither Rashford nor Martial are willing to drive inside and score or draw a foul. Martial needs to take more risks. No shot on target. I disagree. I thought Martial and Rashford won quite a few free kicks trying to make something out of nothing. We just didn't do anything with the free kicks. Buy better players. We have a world-class manager, says Yasser. Ollie will blame it on fine margins again, says Travis Johnson. Scrappy Red Devil, we're like a small team, only up for the big games. Sebastian Tedosco says we definitely need a playmaker, maybe Maddison, but we can't wait till the summer. Southpaw Love Sports says another draw for Ollie. Guess we know who the real draughty devil is. Denver Moat says team is consistent with letting his fans down. Chikorito Hernandez says unless Glazers and Woodward are gone, we would sink for decades and we need to get them out of our club. We need a tall target forward for these games, says This Is It Man. Mark, what is the solution? I'm fed up, says Ajmil Cosman. Aha says missing a proper number 10. Matter offers nothing. We need to sack Ollie to get a chance of top 4, says Armand. United was pants against an organised Everton unit, says Sakil Demina. Greenwood must start now. He's a natural goal. I thought Greenwood should have started anyway, Adrissus. Alfredo Blindsco says Martial is too lazy and for God's sake Lingard cannot start at number 10 ever again. Weasel97 says, surprise, surprise, every time the top 4 is within reach, we mess it up. Ollie needs players. We score both goals in the game, says Yassar said. Mark Palfrey, I think Everton found that an easy game. Ollie is doing the best with what he's got, says Yazza. He loves Ollie, Yazza, doesn't he? Jack, I'm sorry, but Ollie has to go. He's out of his depth. MUFC for life sucks after that result, but we did not deserve a point, says MUFC for life. James Parker says flat, predictable, one-dimensional garbage. We only ever score goals through moments of individual brilliance. And how's Greenwood too young to start? Rooney was 16, says Aaron Williams. It's funny we know more than the manager at Manchester United. We said, yeah, but we haven't faced a team who uses low block tactics, says Red Baron. And Zachary Purvis says, if it can't be on the manager when the second minute Lingard misses a sitter, Rashford, Martial, James just hit at the keeper. We need a plan B. Thanks, Zachary Purvis. Well, look, smash a like on the video if Mason Greenwood was your man of the match. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to get to 600,000 subscribers by Christmas. So please do that. We've got fan cams coming in. I'm very interested to see what the fan cams have got to say. It's going to be very interesting, of course. I'm actually doing a watch along now on the That's Football channel, which is going to be Manchester City versus Arsenal. I'll be live on there in about 5 minutes. There's a link in the video description if you want to get over on the live comments and join me there for that. Fan cams will be coming in very soon as well. Just very, very disappointed today. We'll get the same crappy old excuses. I'm fed up of it. I don't see any progress with Manchester United. And, you know, we all saw this coming. We hoped for more, but we all saw it coming. And it's just very, 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 very disappointing. Well done to Mason Greenwood. He single-handedly saved us a point today. Smash a like for him. And I will see you on the watch along for Arsenal Man City on That's Football. Or the fan cams are going to be coming in very soon. Speak to you all soon. Just disappointed today. Disappointed.